Hello, football fans. You're alive. Third down with Morgan Holder. I am Morgan.
And I'm Holder. Welcome to the show, listening. Big show today.
Yeah, it's almost one of the last ones for the weeks. We have what going on week 18. It's pretty wild out there. Almost playoff time. Almost playoff time. I want to give a shout out to First Take, Sports Nation, and Mike and Mike.
Sports Nation, where did that come from?
Well, considering that Skip Bayless had made some comments I didn't like, I had to change it up and take undisputed out of that equation. That way, we don't get no heat for it.
Oh my goodness, really?
Yeah,
Well, you know, you never have issues like that with the pivot. Speak for yourself, and which is why I always question your picks for sports talk show.
well, I like Shannon Sharp. I did like Skip Bayless until he made a comment. I don't care too much for him now. So,
Well, shame on you. Shame on you.
shame on Skip Bayless for making that stupid tweet.
Everybody does something stupid every now and then, my friend.
That is true, but he should have not tweeted what he tweeted. Speaking of what he tweeted, Monday night there was a big, big game. Something seriously happened. Game got postponed. Holder, I'm gonna ask this question because we both played sports. We know what it's like. Darmar, he went in cardiac arrest during Monday night's game. Being an athlete and playing sports, most people don't know what athletes go through on a daily basis just to get their mind right or their bodies right, even before games and practice. So, what is your take? Do you think he should? Personally, me, I think he might need to call it quits. What do you think?
Well, I don't know. I don't know this. I know the severity of his mishap, but you can never be in shape for what happened to him. He was It was an untimely impact on his chest when his heart was in a
Definitely.
resting beat, and it caused the arrhythmia and everything that ensued after that is what happened. Age has nothing to do with it. A history of heart issues has nothing to do with it. It was just a timely impact to his chest. But athletes make decisions you wouldn't expect for them to make when it comes to their life and their health. I mean, look at Tua,
That is true.
right?
That is true. Both of them has some big injuries. Especially Tua as well, because Tua, almost same age as Demar. Both of them were in their early 20s. One can have CTE at an early age, another one can have heart problems now. You don't know. Me personally, I think both of them needs to sit down with their families and loved ones and maybe discuss options. I don't know. I'm just thinking about being. I'm in my 30s, but being a young athlete and having so much for you, when something like that happens, it can take a toll on somebody.
Yeah. Well,
Especially
people
for
look at
especially for or for the young man in Buffalo. They had to do CPR. Could you imagine what his family was going through watching that, or even his friends?
oh yeah, but you know, decisions athletes make are based upon a lot of things. I mean, there's a lot of things that go into the decision. First and foremost, you're talking about the NFL, right? Opportunity of a lifetime, um, notoriety, competition. A lot of things you worked hard for in your early years of life, high school, college,
Definitely.
to get to that level.
Definitely.
And
He
once you
he
get to that
probably
level, it's tough. I mean, and these guys are either making decisions for the welfare of their families, that, but they have to take into account that it's just a game. It's just a game.
Oh, definitely. I can't argue with you with that. I mean, I'm just saying, like, they breathe football daily. Even playing Pop Warner, they breathe, they live, they sweat and bleed football. That's all they knew was football, 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 football daily. Even during the off season, football. If it's not football, it was running to staying in shape for football. So
Yeah, that's what it is. I mean, you have to take into account that these guys have a warrior type mentality, right? And it's all about the fight. It's all about being there for your teammates. So, when you talk about life and how precious life is, you have to take into account your future. So we don't know what this kid's future is going to look like.
exactly. I mean, maybe, and
But
I could be wrong. Maybe, but maybe he should just become, a either a coach, or a trainer. Like that's. I mean, if you just gotta watch it, you don't know what can happen with that next hit.
yeah, well, what happened to him is unfortunate. And everybody knows when you play football, you're going to sustain some type of, be it minor or major injury.
Oh, definitely.
So
Can't
those
argue.
chances that you take.
So I
every
got a question for you on that part. So what they're trying to do with the helmets, like the padding and stuff, do you think they're going to try to make the shoulder pads come down a little bit more so it can protect more of the heart or even the chest cage?
I don't think you're talking about, when you talk about helmets, you're still defeating the purpose of making a helmet that will decrease the chance
Of concussion. I get that.
because the brain is still moving inside of the head. It doesn't matter what's around it.
Right.
The brain is in fluid, and it's going to move on any type of impact. So, and with the chest, this was an it doesn't matter what they do. If there's an impact when the heart is in a resting beat, nothing outside of that is going
It's going to
stop
protect
that
it.
impact. Because impact is still going to happen during that time. And this, how many times did it happen? How many decades have we watched football and it just happened this one time?
Right.
So the odds are
Very slim.
1,000,000,000 to 1.
I mean, so let me ask you this next question, and then we can move on. Do you think it was the right call about them postponing the game? I believe. I'm a big belief. I believe they did the right call. And from my understanding, it wasn't the NFL. It was the Bengals, Zach Taylor, the Bengals head coach, and the Bills head coach. Because the Bills head coach was like, I need to be there for my player. I don't need a coach. I need to be there. And Zach Taylor understood. I don't think it was the NFL's call. I think it was the teams, and I like that. I like how both those teams came together and united. That's what we need to do outside of football is unite.
Yeah, so, I mean, you're talking about a life and death situation. I mean, that's common sense. If they would have done anything otherwise, it would have been inhumane. Right? There's just no, and I don't think the players would have played regardless.
No. I mean, because you got to think some of those.
Wanted them to play, those players wouldn't have played that game.
Because you got to think some of those players, their backs was turned away from them. They couldn't see them. Even Diggs ran to the sideline and started talking to some of the players. Like they knew they didn't want to play. Their mind wasn't in the game. Even for the Cincinnati Bengals, I mean, yeah, they're that's one of the teams they're playing against, but their minds wasn't in the right game either because they were about the player. They wasn't worried about the game. So I don't know.
I mean, it is what it is. We're not doctors. We're not on the field. We don't, everything that transpired and took place, and everything that was in response to the incident was fine. I think the right decisions were made, and now they just have to move forward
Oh,
and
definitely.
learn from this. It's just a learning process. Kudos to the medical staff from both teams.
Oh, yeah.
Rushing out the field and taking care of him and giving him the care that he needed.
Oh, definitely. Even the hospital. I gotta give them a shout out. Because oxygen level, because he wasn't breathing on his own for a little bit. It went from 100% to 50. So he is breathing 50% on his own, which is really good. It's a good sign. But he's not out of the woods yet. Not out of the woods yet. So, man, that's a sad situation. This next topic, I gotta throw it out there because Derek Carr, I think his time in Las Vegas is over. True or false?
I don't know. They paid him a lot of money.
But listen, hear me out. They kicked him out of the locker room. He's no longer allowed in that area. They don't want him around the team right now. So how can you not say his time is over with if that's happening?
Oh, they paid him a lot of money. I mean, they've done it to other players before. I mean, look at what
Mac.
What's Rodgers? Look at what Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers. I was thinking.
Right? And he was seriously talking about leaving.
I was thinking Mac when he played for the Raiders. They paid him all that money and traded him. But yeah, Russell Wilson. Look at Russell Wilson in Seattle.
I think Derek Carr needs to change his scenery. I don't think Derek Carr's a bad quarterback.
I don't think it's bad. I think it's ownership. I think it's coaching. I don't think he's bad. He's really good. He's above average.
I think he needs to change his scenery. I think this could be it for him in a Raiders uniform, but
so the question is,
who got pretty good veteran quarterbacks out there?
Who do you think would sign him or trade for him? I mean, we've seen the coach trade for Philip Rivers. We've seen them getting Carson Wentz. We've seen them getting Matt Ryan. Do you think the Colts could actually step up and get Derek Carr? Or do you think they will go out in the draft?
I think the Colts have been down this road before. I would like to see Derek Carr with the Colts or New Orleans, for that matter.
That's true. I'm just going off the limb here because I remember Derek Carr brothers, David Carr. I remember him playing for Houston for a couple of years. Maybe Houston. I mean, Houston's a quarterback.
Houston, they got a lot of work to do in Houston, and Derek Carr, he's still kind of young.
Yeah, he's in his late 20s.
I think he needs to go to a team that's just a few pieces away from.
What about Carolina?
And then you look at Matthew Stafford.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
In a situation where they didn't have everything he needed to be successful, then he moves on to the Rams that's loaded, and he wins the Super Bowl.
So hear me. I want to ask you this because Carolina's doing pretty good without Christian McCaffrey. Do you see him go to Panthers? You see him going to maybe the Rams because it looks like they might need a quarterback. We don't know about Matthew Stafford's future, and I hate to ask this question because I know the answer, but what about the 49ers?
I'm set on the two teams I mentioned, Indy and New Orleans. Those are.
You think Indy and New Orleans? Okay. I guess we'll have to wait and see. The question is, will they release them? Will they trade them? I mean, I figured trading them and get them some draft picks, or because if you release them, they're not going to get nothing for them. So trade them. You might get a third, fourth, and fifth round. You never know.
Possibility.
Never know.
But a lot of money on the table.
That's true. That is true. Some teams have it. Speaking of New Orleans, how'd you like them beating up the Philadelphia Eagles?
Did they really beat the Philadelphia Eagles?
They did, 20-10. To beat them up.
Did they beat Jalen Hurts?
Doesn't matter.
They didn't beat the Philadelphia Eagles.
I mean,
you're talking about a team when they're full strength.
I mean, granted, Minshew didn't do bad. He didn't do too bad at all. Dalton didn't do too bad either. But man, you got sacked 4 times, and you think about that, and you think the Eagles' offensive line looks really good with Jalen Hurts because he runs right, but with Minshew back there, he gets sacked 4 times. It's like that line's terrible. Maybe Jalen Hurts is running for his life, and we don't see it, but now we do.
You know, I think that it has a lot more to do with that. I think there's clearly a talent. You know, there's instinct. Being a quarterback, you have to have instinct, physical talent, and intelligence. So those things, you know, in a running quarterback, the clock tells him to go. You know, because what's the average? 3 seconds?
Give or take.
That you should have the ball out of your hands. Okay, so when that clock is ticking in a quarterback's head, you know, especially that's what I'm saying. You have those 3 intangibles where you have, you know, talent, instinct, and, you know, knowledge of the game. They all play hand in hand. If you're like hesitating, that's what's going to happen. That's why there are starters and there are backups.
So where does this leave Philadelphia? Do you think Philadelphia's still going to be number 1 seed, or do you think they're going to lose against Washington again?
I don't know. I think for the most part, most teams today are playing to clinch.
And we know Philadelphia's already clinched.
Control their own destiny after that.
And Philadelphia's already clinched. Here's my thing. I think they should go ahead and play Hurts because if not, you got 49ers right there who could clinch first round for the first bye, and or the Cowboys. I hate to say that, but you have those 2 teams right there setting up for the number 1 seed. So I'll go ahead and play Jalen Hurts. Yes, they lost against Washington, but this time around is different. This time around is either we lose and we make the playoffs and we get the number 2 seed, or we win, go to the playoffs as number 1 seed, and we go home field advantage and we get a bye.
You know, this is my philosophy. I believe that teams play better when they play consistently through the weeks to come. Right? I think when you get a week off, you lose something because the teams that have been playing are gaining momentum. They're playing the game. There's no lag or break in there. So they're just they're in their rhythm, right? So you have a team like, for instance, Pittsburgh, 15-1. We go 15-1. We get home field throughout the playoffs. We have a week off. We play the following week. We lose, right? When we were on the road and we were that 7th seed and we won, we beat Cincinnati, we beat Indianapolis, and then we beat Denver, and then won the Super Bowl because we played every week of the playoffs. So
you
I don't know. It's kind of like a bye week. It's like a bye week. Some teams don't play well after a bye week.
So you're saying if you was the Philadelphia Eagles, you wouldn't want that bye. You just want to play straight up wild card all the way to the Super Bowl.
The bye. The only thing that is important
it's home field advantage.
The road to the Super Bowl go through your state.
Exactly.
Right. I get that, but in the same token, Philadelphia has lost games this year with Hurts playing.
That's true. That's true. That's true. Washington.
I'm just saying. That's just my point of view.
No, I get it. Speaking of the playoffs, you should be happy Pitt beat Baltimore 16-13. Do you see their playoff hopes alive still, or do you think they're not going to make it, but they do have a winning record? Because they're above 500.
Alive, but you have to depend on other teams, and that's never good. I mean, we got to depend on the Jets, and we got to depend on Buffalo.
So the question is, I have for you: do you think the Jets are going to win this week? I mean, we can. I guess we can talk about that later on the show. But do you really think the Jets got a good chance of winning this week? Because I do not.
Well, that depends. Tua's in protocol, right? And I don't know. I think Tua what? Miami needs to win. Right?
Yeah.
So they're going to play Tua if he is clear from protocol. But if he's not, I think the Jets have a chance to win because Bridgewater's fingers messed up.
Oh, definitely. Man, that team, Miami team, whew, you have a good season and all of a sudden some injuries happen and your season goes down the drain. That is crazy. Crazy. But,
that's football.
That's true. But, back to this Pittsburgh-Baltimore game. Correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like and you already know what you're going to say, but if Mitch Trubisky was playing, Pittsburgh would not have won this game. They would not have won.
Pittsburgh wouldn't have won any game. Really? Pittsburgh won one game.
Was
the
Mitch.
First game. And there were 5 turnovers in that game. And he couldn't put any more points up on the board than what was on the board. That guy, if they would have started Pickett sooner, they wouldn't be dependent on other teams to get into the playoffs. That's just me.
Pickett has been really, really good this year. I'm ready to see what he's going to do next year. I mean, he was injured a couple times this year, but it was nothing major. But next year, I think he's going to come on strong. I mean, look, Harris is coming on pretty well down the stretch. I mean, Harris he hit 100 yards again.
The offensive line is getting better. They're running the ball more. Right? Kenny Pickett has the time he needs in the pocket, and him being young and athletic can escape the pocket. So I think they're moving in the right direction.
Oh, man, I hate to say this because I know you're a Pittsburgh fan. I don't like the Steelers, but Canada, they need to get rid of Canada. His play calling sucks.
Why do you hate to tell me that? I know that.
Because I know you're a Pittsburgh fan.
Everybody knows that.
Get rid of him, man.
Terrible.
Get rid of him, and I think Pitt will be really good next year. And I mean, I hate to say that, but it's true. I mean, look what they're doing.
Well,
look what they're doing down the stretch.
Roethlisberger was there. Come on.
That's true.
Was calling his own plays.
Do you think Pickett will next year? Maybe they're getting him used to the system.
No, I'm saying Roethlisberger's calling his own plays because of Matt Canada's choices of plays.
That's what I was asking. Do you think Pickett would do that next year, even though Pickett just to get him, used to the system? No.
Pickett does his own plays in 2 minutes, but as long as he's still young, they're gonna get a new coordinator. If they get a new coordinator, there's no way Pickett's gonna call his own plays because it's gonna be new plays that they're gonna have to learn. So.
I can't wait.
I don't think he'll be doing it. I think Pickett has full reign of the team when they're in 2 minutes.
And I think the team plays a lot better with him at quarterback other than the other guy, Mitch sorry-ass Trubisky.
Yeah, he's proven that he's a has-been.
I can't believe the Bears got him over a lot of quarterbacks at that draft.
Well, I mean, they thought they were making the right decision. Look at what the Chargers did when they got Ryan Leaf.
Oh, yeah. They traded him. I forgot about that. They got him, and because Eli Manning didn't want to. Yeah. I mean, I know Manning didn't want to go. He didn't want to go play for San Diego.
No, not Eli.
Oh, you about Peyton Manning?
Peyton?
Yeah. Yeah, he got number one? He went number 1 for the Colts. So.
I mean, it was to Chargers an opportunity to get Peyton or Brian, and they went with Brian. So
I was thinking when
Jamarcus Russell.
Yeah.
You never know.
God, he was bust. He was a bust.
I mean, there's so many. There's Vince Young. There's so many guys.
No, hold on. Vince Young's
a lot
defense.
of promise in college and didn't do anything.
And Vince Young's defense and his defense, he actually had a good couple years, but that Titan team was not the Titans team that people thought was good, and it showed. Coaching staff sucked. There was no good receivers. So
I don't know. I think.
Now, if you would have said Mark Sanchez, I would have agreed with you.
I think the Titans team had talent.
I don't think they did. Vince was running for his life.
I think Vince's head got too big at one time.
I don't know. I think he was running for his life.
There's a difference between college and NFL. You say it all the time.
I do. I'm usually right. Besides on Kenny Pickett, on his part, I've been proven wrong. So, man, I don't even want to talk about the next topic. I'm kind of still hurt, man. Can't believe the Packers. I can't believe they routed us like that. Like they beat the Vikings 41-17, and I can't even say it was Aaron Rodgers because Rodgers didn't do too much. It was the defense. It was a defense. When I seen people talk about where was that long time ago, Aaron? Where have you been at? It was not Aaron Rodgers. Let's say that right now. It was not. It was that defense and the refs.
You can call it what you want to. The refs didn't throw the interception. None of those things. Dude, you're talking about.
Hold on. I'm gonna stop you right there. Stop you right there.
You're stopping me.
I'm gonna stop you. So with the first interception. Hold on. First interception. If you go back and watch the highlight, you will see Justin Jefferson get thrown on the ground before the ball got to him. Then got picked off because of that. Then you see that same play. You see the Green Bay Packers trying to run it back. Justin Jefferson gets hit in the back. Where's it hitting the back at? Do you call it all day long to somebody else? If you go back and look.
Do you know how many calls these referees, these officials missed in games? Come on, man. That's been going on for decades.
That was not a missed call because that was right by the sign line judge. That was not a missed call. I know they've seen that because the ref was right there when Justin Jefferson got.
The ref was right there in that Dallas-New Orleans playoff game when there was clearly interference on the sideline.
We ain't talking about New Orleans. We ain't talking about Dallas. We talk about the Minnesota Vikings.
But the call was missed. Okay, so
you're trying to tell me
happens, my brother.
The Vikings got flagged 6 times compared to the Green Bay Packers twice. Why?
Hey. That just wasn't their day.
No, it goes back to the saying. It goes back to the saying is that you cannot play against a team and expect to also play against the refs.
Dude, come on.
Just saying.
Come on.
Justin Jefferson.
How many times have the refs protected Tom Brady? Okay, it doesn't matter.
Justin Jefferson got held. He got pushed.
Jefferson got held in check.
No. Did you watch the game? Did you watch that game?
I watched most of the game.
Did you see where Alexander grabbed his arms around him like, I did it? No. You intentionally grabbed him before the ball got there. No flag was called.
Morgan.
Just saying. Proven fact.
What was the score? What was the score of the game?
Doesn't matter what the score was.
What was the score of the game?
So you're trying to tell me if Pittsburgh was in this situation, you would not be mad.
Pittsburgh got screwed last year. Pittsburgh got screwed through COVID. Okay?
No, they didn't. It was football.
It is what it is.
It was football. I mean, we got screwed out for
games
being.
were changed around because teams that got COVID and all these other things happened. And
Now
they played,
here's Minnesota
3
looking
games
in.
like 17 days.
Now Minnesota has to look in and become a number 3 seed. Unless the 49ers and Eagles both lose.
Which I think that's where they belong, the way they've been playing.
What? No.
They've been playing. They haven't blown anybody out.
We have the top 15 offense. That's saying something.
Yeah.
I mean,
true.
defense is like top 30, but still.
You guys.
And the offense
winning close games.
But here's the thing, though. The offense wouldn't be in the top 12 if it wasn't for Justin Jefferson or KJ Osborne or Adam Thielen. I'm not going to say Cook. But if it wasn't for or even TJ Hawkinson now, we got him now. So if it wasn't for those guys, our offense probably wouldn't have been number 12. It would probably be 15th, 20th. And the reason why Kirk Cousins is having the best of his life is because of those receivers. Justin Jefferson is getting more yards after catch. He's making Cousins look good. So I'm just ready to throw a knife and get rid of Kirk Cousins.
You might want to be careful what you ask for, though, because there's really nobody out there other than Lamar Jackson.
I mean, look, I would rather have Derek Carr on my team. Just saying.
Really?
Yes. See, I think Carr is way better than Cousins. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he's way better. His accuracy's on point. He runs a little bit. He don't stand statue like Cousins does. I mean, this year.
True. I mean, there's clearly differences between the two quarterbacks.
I mean, hell, I'll even have.
Raved about.
I would even.
Rated. You always.
I do, but here's the thing though. Looking back, his pass rating is so good because of Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen. So even a couple years ago, we had Kyle Rudolph. I mean, so his pass rating is good because those guys around him make him good. He was shit in Washington. He's shit in Minnesota.
Oh, did you say it on my YouTube channel?
I did. And do I apologize? No.
Did you say that on my YouTube channel?
I did.
I'm at a loss for words.
I'm at a loss for words for Cousins. I mean, dude, like this is supposed to be like the best team ever. Well, not ever, but best team in this century. And you're gonna screw us over and throw the game.
Well, Morgan, the season's not over yet. You know, you're going into week 18.
I mean, we are in the playoffs. We did win
for a lot of teams.
That is true. I mean,
are still in it.
I mean, we made the playoffs. We won our division, but it doesn't matter. I want something bigger, and Cousins ain't gonna do it. Cousins is not gonna do it.
I don't know what to say. You know, you are speaking in behalf of Vikings fans, I guess, or are there Vikings fans out there that think they should retain Kirk Cousins?
I don't know. Let's ask that question. If there's any listeners, subscribers out there as Vikings fans, please tell me your thoughts on Kirk Cousins. Should the Vikings let him go, or should he stay another year of Minnesota? I personally say let him go. You're not taking a loss. It's time to move on.
Pretty strong words from a so-called diehard fan.
I am a diehard. I just don't like Kirk Cousins. He's honestly, I would rather have. I hate to say this. I would rather have Mitch Trubisky on my team than Kirk Cousins.
Oh, gosh.
I'm just saying.
You know, I would think you would have said Huntley or somebody with.
I went that low.
You don't want Mitch Trubisky.
I went that low because Huntley is way better.
I'd rather have Kirk Cousins than Mitch Trubisky.
Huntley is in a bracket without Kirk Cousins. where Mr. Trubisky and Kirk Cousins are in the same bracket because they both are terrible.
Yeah, I think Mitch Trubisky is probably the next guy to paint the lines on the field.
I would rather have Nick Foles on my team.
I like Nick Foles. I mean, he's not
Speaking of Nick Foles, before we move on to the picks, I just got to ask this question. Man, people are hating on Kevon because he was making snow angels after he hit Nick Foles and he got injured, I guess. But he was laying next to Nick Foles. He didn't know he was hurt. How is this guy going to get hate on him because of it? I could see if he was making snow angels run down the field because he was so happy, but he laid there and made snow angels. I don't get it. I don't get fans. I don't get it. I'm just saying, run down the field, stop, make snow angels. I'm just saying.
A
just don't get it.
A celebration is a celebration, whether you know a person is or not. It's the moment of the game. It's that moment. It's not that he stood over Nick Foles and then laid down and made snow angels. He was just in the moment of the game.
Yeah.
People are sensitive about a lot of things. So, I mean, you're talking about most people that have never played the game and are judging these players on a lot of things that they do.
And most of these fans, I'm not going to say fans, most of them are just hating because they want to hate. Like they had nothing better to do in their life besides hate. So,
that's what fans do.
I'm not going to say most of them was fans.
We're fans.
Yeah, but most of them.
Different than any other fan.
But most of them.
Exception.
It's like it's on social media, so I'm not going to say some of them was football fans. Some of them was just. How do you put it? Trolls. So, I'm just saying. Moving on to our pick. This is pretty much our last time making these picks like this because I'm pretty sure when the playoffs hit, they're going to be a little different. When I say different, I think we might have the same teams. I don't know. It's going to be a little different. Saturday and Sunday this week. It's crazy when you think about it because you're used to Thursday, you're used to Monday. Now it's just back to Saturday and Sunday. It's wild.
Still good football.
Oh, definitely. First on the radar, I got the Kansas City Chiefs over Las Vegas, same as you. I don't know who Las Vegas' second-string quarterback is, and I don't think he can beat Kansas City just because I don't know who he is.
I don't know his name either, but he had a good game against San Francisco.
That is true, but to me, Kansas City needs to win this game because right now we're talking about playoff seeds, right? If the Beacon Cincinnati, if they play again, Cincinnati was winning. We don't know what's going to happen. It could be Cincinnati beating Buffalo to get the number one seed. If not, it can go to Kansas City. Anything can happen, and I think Kansas City wants that number one seed to show people we can do it without Tyreek Hill, like they've been doing for the past year.
The problem I have with Kansas City is I did pick them to win, but they have kind of gotten away from running the ball. And they used to be pretty good at that.
Yeah, I know there's some injuries going on over there with the running backs. I don't know the details. I don't know if the starter.
You're not going to go deep into the playoffs if you're not running the ball. I just don't see it.
Well, it's like the next pick. I mean, we'll talk about that in a minute with next pick. But yeah, I mean, you're right. Without running the ball, you're not going to win much games. So I don't know. I guess time will tell. Time will tell. Patrick Mahomes can make things work. What is
the most, Mr. Stats? What is the most important stat? Ball control.
That's
control
true.
The clock.
That is true.
Time of possession.
That is true.
You get time of possession with running the ball. If you're throwing the ball, you're going to chunks down the field. You're not.
Yeah, but again, if you
not keeping up the offense off the field.
But again, if you just going 5 to 6 yards, you'd be good. You're not going down all the way downfield. Kelsey, for example. Kelsey don't need to go streaking down the field. Give him a little 5-yard curl, little 5-yard post. Like, you got
it. They're going to turn into a big run.
That's the thing. If you do that, you don't need to run the ball because you're still using the clock.
Okay, well, I haven't listened to the Greatest Show on Turf since the Greatest Show on Turf. So that was the only team that didn't need to run the football. And the Houston Oilers back when Warren Moon was the quarterback, and they had to run and shoot out.
But the problem
they didn't win any championships with them.
The problem I have with Kansas City though is their defense. Their defense has some holes, and defense wins championships. So, but I don't know. Time will tell. Time will tell. Speaking of running the ball, you have Tennessee over Jacksonville, and you talk all this stuff about Jacksonville, how good they are here, and you pick Tennessee, who is going to probably start either Joshua Dobbs or Malik Willis, and all they do is run the ball. They don't throw it; they run. Well, Jacksonville, they have a good running back. They got a good offense with Trevor Lawrence, and they got some good receivers. I mean, Zay Jones is one of them.
They got a good defense, too. But
That's true.
Told me to pick Tennessee.
I guess we'll find out Saturday, huh?
The football gods talk to me. What can I say?
I was last week before Monday. I was beating you in picks. You needed Buffalo to win to tie with me. So I don't think football gods talking to you right.
Yeah, that game was postponed. Do you remember?
I'm just saying. I mean, I was beating you no matter what. You needed that game to tie with me.
That game has not been played yet, so
I'm just saying I was winning no matter what. No matter what, I was winning. You needed that game to tie with me. So was I winning? Yes or no?
No.
I was beating you. You needed Buffalo.
Complete week.
But you needed Buffalo. No matter what, you needed Buffalo to win that game to tie with me. So that means I was beating you.
That game, my friend.
It doesn't matter. I was still beating you.
Yet to be played.
Prior to that game, I was beating you.
So look, are we going to talk about Baltimore and Cincinnati, or we're just going to?
Yeah, I mean, shoot. You are just mad because you're letting this young pup beat you. Anywho, we both have the Bengals beating Baltimore. I feel good about this matchup just because I feel good about Cincinnati because they're playing at home, and I don't think Lamar Jackson has what it takes to beat the Bengals, and I don't think the Ravens has what it takes to stop Higgins or Boyd or Jamar Chase.
So that's the reason you picked Cincinnati.
Yeah, because I don't think Baltimore has what it takes to stop those guys. Yes, that's why.
And you think Cincinnati has what it takes to stop Baltimore's running attack?
I'm going to stop you for a second. If Pittsburgh can beat Baltimore, Cincinnati can beat Baltimore. Cincinnati's a little bit better than Baltimore, or a little bit better than Cincinnati. Cincinnati's a little bit better than Pittsburgh this year. So, yeah, Cincinnati will beat Baltimore.
Pittsburgh has a better defense than Baltimore. However.
Exactly. Baltimore has not good defense, but Pittsburgh does.
Well, I'm questioning Cincinnati's defense like Baltimore.
Cincinnati's defense is a little bit better than Pittsburgh's defense. Just going by stats.
There you go.
I'm just going with stats. I'm going to go with stats.
There you go again. I picked Cincinnati too, but this is not going to be a cakewalk.
I didn't say it was. I'm itching my head on this because this next pick, it makes no sense why you did it.
You're itching your head? You mean you're scratching your head on it?
Whatever. I don't care. You picked Atlanta over Tampa Bay. Why?
Yeah, I don't like TB12.
So this is because you don't like Brady, pretty much.
pretty much.
Yeah, you're going to lose this week because Atlanta has nobody. Anyways, moving on to the next pick. We both got Buffalo or New England. I picked Buffalo. I like this game because I think New England can upset Buffalo, but I think Buffalo has what it takes to beat New England, if that makes sense.
This is kind of up in the air for me, but I don't know whether or not Buffalo's going to play all their players.
That's true. I mean, because they only made the playoffs, so I don't know. It's a good question. I guess we should see. And I'm ready. I'm pretty hyped. Got a lot of games this weekend for sure. Yeah, even if Buffalo doesn't play all their players, I still think Buffalo can beat Mac Jones.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mac Jones hasn't. He showed me.
Mitchell Trubisky was still in Buffalo.
You and Trubisky, man. I guess you might have needed. You need to get his number and call him and tell him how you feel.
No, I need Mitchell Trubisky therapist.
Man, his next game, I like these chances because Minnesota's playing Chicago, and Chicago's quarterback is not going to play this week. I like these chances.
I don't know. You might get a heavy dose of Chase Claypool.
With what quarterback at the helm?
Doesn't matter.
Okay, I guess not.
Chase Claypool is still waiting for his breakout game as a Bear.
He's not going to have one against Minnesota. If he does, I'll gladly shake your hand. But he's not gonna have one.
Yeah. Well, I picked Minnesota too, so
I like the chances.
This next game, Morgan.
Oh man, this was one of those games, man. Like I wanted one team to win. I want the other one to lose because both of them tied during the regular season. We're still in the regular season, but tied. You know, the first of the football campaign when it first started. And ever since I've been watching Houston, the running back, I like him. I'm sorry, Colts fans. I have to go with Houston on this. I think Houston would beat Indianapolis. I'm sorry, Colts fans. I'm sorry I had to do that. It was one of those games you're like, man, like it's gonna go to the wire, but you have to pick a team. And I'm sorry, I had to go with Houston.
You went with Houston.
Yeah, it was one of those times, man. Like
when I saw that on the pick sheet, I lost my mind.
It was one of those things like you put two teams in a hat, you pick one, you pull one out, the one you have is out your hand. That's what you're going with. It was something like that.
So this was a draw, straws, pick a team.
Almost, because one of these, because both of them are not good, and one has to win, one has to lose. And I don't think the coach can stop Pierce.
Wasn't it you that said the Colts were coming into the season with a pretty good defense?
I did. Injuries happened, coaching staff happened, and quarterback issues happened as well.
A lot changes, I mean.
It does.
Look at your Chargers. We'll get to them too, but
my Chargers, man. Yeah, no. The next pick, we both got the Jets over Miami. This one wasn't too hard because, like you said, Bridgewater is hurt. Tua is, he's still in protocol as of right now. So, but I have to give it to the Jets, especially if Mike White is playing. If Mike White's playing, he's going to torch Miami Dolphins defense. So,
do you have any statistics to prove it? I picked the Jets too. Don't get me wrong, because we need the Jets to win for the Steelers to get into the playoffs. But I did go against the Jets. I think it was last week I went against the Jets.
You did.
Shame on me, but I think the Jets still have what it takes to get the job done.
So you said they have what it takes, right? So Well, even with the Jets, man, when they played last, what was that, like week 5, week 6? Zach Wilson tore. I mean, and I know that Tua didn't play, but Zach Wilson torched that defense with 210 yards, and I think Mike White is way better than Zach Wilson. So
Yeah, but that too. I mean, Sauce Gardner is my dude.
he is he's going to change the game for sure. I like Gardner. He's probably one of the best rookies on defense I've seen in a long time.
That kid, man, he's making a name for himself,
The
and he's somebody they can build that defense.
As I was going to say, the Jets better because they got a diamond in the rough right there with him. They better hold on to him and keep him. If not, they are dumb. So
Just like the Vikings are done.
shut up. Like Pittsburgh is stupid. So hater. Just Max winning playoffs. The next pick. I'm just gonna ask this question. What was you thinking?
What was I thinking?
I mean, I picked Carolina. Carolina was really close to beating.
I always pick Carolina.
This is the second time I picked Carolina.
Dude, can I have my picks without being judged?
I'm just saying here, Carolina put a whooping. Well, I got that back. Carolina almost put a whooping on TB12. They lost overtime. And I get it, New Orleans beat Philadelphia. But Carolina needs this win.
More talent. I'm about talent, not statistics. New Orleans has more talent.
Talent might win, but look what's going on right now. Carolina is proving that wrong.
Didn't we beat Carolina?
Yeah, when they had sorry ass
They were
Baker
averaging
Mayfield.
200 plus yards rushing a game. Pittsburgh beat Carolina.
Ever since Baker Mayfield's been gone and the coach has been gone, things has changed. Things has went up with Carolina. I promise you. Carolina's going to be a team to watch for next year.
Telling me Carolina's going to beat New Orleans because
Changes
they don't
happen,
have
yes.
Baker Mayfield.
Exactly. I'm going to say right now the score is going to be 21-7.
Didn't you say you'd rather have Baker Mayfield over Kirk Cousins?
Negative. I said Mitch Trubisky. You try to get me to use some foul language on his show. Trying to do almost cussed a whole bunch.
Terrible. Terrible.
Can't believe you. Anywho, next pick. I don't know why I did this, man. I wanted to go for Cleveland just to make you be quiet, but I really picked Pittsburgh because I don't like Cleveland because Cleveland has a sex offender on the team. So I went with Pitt.
Going there again.
Yeah, I don't like Deshaun Watson anymore. I hope he.
Pittsburgh has the Joe Green Rookie of the Year.
That is true. But I'm going to stop you for a second. I hope that Watt tackles Deshaun Watson so hard that his whole leg breaks and his career's over with.
People, I told you when this whole thing started with Watson, you said you didn't believe he did.
I believe it. But you know what? Doing some research, reading up on it, he did that. Oh, he definitely did it. Maybe no more.
We talked for hours that night.
We did. I was kind of bummed because I didn't want to believe it.
We talked for hours that night. And you were saying, I was like, man, these women are not gathering and coming up with a story that is too consistent.
But here's the thing. But here's the thing. I thought they was because it came out after he wanted to get traded. After he wanted to get traded out of Houston, everything was coming out about him, right? So I was under the impression that.
So you're never going to be a Deshaun Watson fan.
Negative. Not going to do it. Won't do it ever again. I don't like the guy.
Let me bring this to the forefront while we're on this. How much left does Cleveland have with quarterbacks?
They went through quarterbacks more than sumo wrestlers going through sumo clothes.
Not only that, they were going through quarterbacks, head coaches.
Oh,
That team is marked to fail first.
exactly. You know what? Ross is going to fail over there. He's going to fail. He's going to fail so hard. He's going to file bankruptcy. That's how bad he's going to fail.
I'm going to tell you about that. What's that coach's name that's in the right now? Belichick. Belichick signed a contract deal and quit the next day.
I remember that.
After signing that deal, right?
I remember that.
Then you get another coach from Belichick's staff, Romeo Crennel, goes to that team.
And failed. They didn't win no games with him.
Failed big time. That team is just.
And not just that. You had Tim Couch, who I thought was one of the good quarterbacks in that draft class.
It was a great quarterback.
And he failed.
Dude, they had so much talent.
You know, I'm sorry, Browns fans sorry, Cleveland fans, that we are dogging the Browns, but everything we say is true. That organization is a failure. They will not win a Super Bowl.
My brother-in-law is a Cleveland fan.
Well, you tell your brother-in-law I'm sorry because they're trash.
I heard them when they got Baker Mayfield. I said, "Oh my God, dude, really?"
Oh, I bet he was doing backflip splits and running outside. So happy.
He thought Baker Mayfield was the truth, man.
And he is trash.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand. Like, Baker Mayfield had a good team. He had some good receivers over there, good running back, and you are trash.
Really good defense too.
Trash.
But it just wasn't a disciplined ball club.
You know,
I don't know.
I'm gonna say this one thing, and I'm gonna leave it alone. The Browns would not ever in my lifetime win a Super Bowl. Ever. To make it so bad, the Lions will win one in my lifetime before the Browns will.
Do you think the LA Chargers are going to win the Super Bowl?
Before the Browns, yes. Most definitely.
You don't feel like the Chargers have been somewhat cursed?
No.
I see that you picked the Chargers over Denver.
Denver sucks. Denver sucks more than the Chicago Cubs. I'm a Chicago Cubs fan, but they suck worse than the Cubs. Okay?
You owe Denver fans an apology.
I'm not owing Denver fans no apology. Not ever. Not happening.
You owe Denver fans an apology.
I owe them an apology the day Denver went to Super Bowl. Denver hasn't been good since Peyton Manning. And before Peyton Manning, they wasn't good before.
S word.
The what?
With Denver. You use the S word with the fans.
Denver is shitty. Yes. They was before Peyton Manning. They were shitty after John Elway. They are shitty now.
Denver fans, I'd like to apologize.
Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why I'm not apologizing to the Denver fans.
Outbursts.
I'm going to tell you why I'm not apologizing to these crybaby Denver fans. When Russell Wilson went to Denver, they was like, oh my God, we're going to win the Super Bowl. Yeah, you're winning a Super Bowl, right? A Super Bowl with getting the first round pick.
Morgan.
Crybabies.
You know as well as I did when that trade went down, we talked about how strong the NFC or the AFC West was going to be.
I didn't think Denver was going to be in the bottom row.
We didn't. So nobody saw this coming. We saw Denver turning into a powerhouse immediately. I
didn't see that. I didn't see Seattle being what they are right now without Russell Wilson. And Seattle's being way better than what Denver is.
I can't believe you're dissing Denver.
I'm just saying that means Pete Carroll was the brains of operation. The only thing Russell Wilson has going for him is a good-looking female in his life. That's it.
You know, Morgan, I have a problem with this next game. You didn't pick the Giants.
I did not pick the Giants. I don't believe in Daniel. I don't believe in Daniel Jones against. Well, hold on. Time out. I'm not a bandwagon. I don't like the Giants. I was okay with Daniel Jones. I'm not a bandwagon, okay?
But you picked the Giants in quite a few games this year.
I did, but this game is different. I think Jones could beat Philadelphia's defense. Let alone, I don't think that Barkley is going to run wild against his defense either.
Well, depending on who they play.
I still don't see it happening. I mean, the Giants needs to win to be in the playoffs because right now, I mean, no, they are in the playoffs. Take it back. They are in the playoffs. So they might not play their stars either because, I mean, again, they made the playoffs because they beat the Colts last week. So both teams might be playing third, second string players. So, yeah.
It's a possibility. But you know what's got me? It's the San Francisco game. Should they even play this game?
Yes, and why I say this because of why I say that is because of Philadelphia loses and the Niners win and Dallas loses. That means the 49ers will have the number 1 seed. So yes, I think the 49ers should play all the starters. I mean, if not, who can play the quarterback? A cheerleader? I'm just being honest. Trey Lance is hurt. Jimmy G is hurt.
Purdy looks like an all-pro, right?
Exactly. So if he's not playing, I'll then get a cheerleader off the sideline to play quarterback.
No, they're going to play. I think they want supremacy in the playoffs.
Exactly.
They have the number 1 defense. They have the most talented offense.
I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not a big 49er fan, but I hate to say this, but they got a pretty strong chance of winning the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah, they do. They do.
Like, being a Minnesota fan, I know Philadelphia beat our ass, but I would rather play Philadelphia 100 times over than I would the 49ers.
Did you say the A word?
I did. Show? Ass is in the Bible. I said in cuss words in the Bible.
All of a sudden, you read the
Bible. Oh, man. You know what got to me is this next pick, because you've been harping on me why I pick Seattle. I picked Seattle over the Rams. I like Seattle this year. Baker Mayfield hasn't showed me nothing, even though he won his first 2 games in the Rams uniform. But I think Seattle has what it takes to beat the Rams. Seattle needs to win this game because Seattle wants to be in the playoffs. The Rams has nothing to lose and nothing to win. Well, Seattle has a lot to lose, and they need a lot to win.
Well, unfortunately, I was forced to pick Seattle.
How was you forced? Did somebody put a gun to your head holder? Did someone put a gun to your head holder and say, pick this team now and we'll shoot you?
Basically.
You was not forced to do that.
Baker Mayfield up across the field. Yes.
I don't like Baker Mayfield. Yeah, I'd agree with you. I don't know. And I can't be wearing the Baker Mayfield jersey. I don't know who would and who wants to.
You know, Morgan, this next game has me.
I'm in a tight.
I'm confused. I'm confused with your pick because you've been Mr. Chase Young all season. Chase Young comes back.
Chase Young is back, but he hasn't. He's not the same Chase Young. I seen him play a little bit last week. He's not the same. I think he came back way too soon. He should have stood out for the rest of the year. But here's the thing. I'm not a Cowboys fan. I know I dog the Cowboys. But for the Cowboys to make it far in the playoffs, they need the bye. And why is that? Because Dak Prescott needs time to sit, reflect, Because if not, he's going to throw many interceptions, and it will cause them not to make the Super Bowl.
Okay, well,
I'm just saying, if Prescott played.
Clearly the powerhouse in this matchup. Okay. But anything can happen.
I mean, Washington, they beat Philadelphia, so yeah, anything has happened. Anything is possible. This next pick has me kind of iffy on you because you harp on the Lions week in and week out on this show, talking about how good they are, how great they can be, and how scary they are. But you got the Packers beating the Lions?
Well, granted, yes, I love the Lions, but you're talking about Aaron Rodgers and December football.
Okay, I'm going to stop you for one time. December, this is January, big guy. January. December's over with.
December, January, we're still in the regular season. We're at the end of the
Okay, but I'm gonna
season.
ask you one thing. What did Rodgers do against the Vikings? Because he did not win that game. It was a defense.
Well, but Aaron Rodgers, quarterback.
He was a quarterback. He only went 150 yards.
Is Aaron Rodgers the team captain?
Unfortunately, yes. But again, defense won. Defense.
When
Defense.
Packers are mentioned as a team, they're mentioned as Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers.
It should not be like that because he has not played like Aaron Rodgers has this year. He plays like a washed up, rundown, old timer who needs to retire.
So clearly you take Detroit for, I think, because you hate the Packers, not because Detroit is.
I hate both teams, but I think the Lions are more talented on defense and offense than the Packers. Do I think Jared Goff is good? He's average. He's not good. Do I think they have what it takes to beat Green Bay? Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Give me a score. Give me a score for this game.
I'm gonna go on a
All
limb.
these picks, and we didn't do any. Give me a score for this game.
The score for this game, I think Lions gonna win by 3. So I'm gonna say 21-24.
Oh wow, you got the Packers giving up 24 points.
I do.
Oh man, didn't you stop your offense?
And to even give you some stats on the Lions and the Packers, I'm gonna pull up the last time they played. And by the way, both teams win because both of them are 8-8, and both are gonna make the playoffs still.
Okay, you don't think Green Bay wants it more than Detroit?
No, they did it. They wouldn't play. So last time the Lions met the Packers lost 15-9. And that started the Lions' run as offense, or runs with winnings. Jared Goff got stopped. He had 131 yards, an interception. Rodgers had 3 interceptions. 3 interceptions Aaron Rodgers had.
So you're basing this game solely on stats?
Yeah. Why wouldn't I be?
Well, I mean, like I said, I love Detroit, but
I don't like either one.
End of the season, either Detroit can be a spoiler or
the Lions need this more than anything because the Lions have stuff to prove where the Green Bay Packers don't need nothing to prove because we all know that they are young. We know that they have an old quarterback who should be in a retirement home right now. So
retirement home. You're telling me Aaron Rodgers doesn't have it anymore?
I'm saying exactly that. I'm saying Aaron Rodgers is washed up, old, and needs to be in a retirement home.
Isn't Kirk Cousins about his age?
Cousins is still young. Cousins just sucks.
Cousins has a 90-year-old body.
Cousins has a 100-year-old mind, if you want to be honest. It's like he has dementia or something. Oh, he's guarded, but I want to throw the ball, though.
let's just close this show out on a good note, okay? Because clearly I'm going to win the picks.
Negative. Why do you say that every week on here you're going to win? You are not going to win. You haven't won for the past 3 weeks. You're not going to win this time.
A tie is a win. Thank you.
No, it is not.
Because I don't have a loss with the tie.
If that's the case, how come the Colts of Houston has a tie and they don't have the winning record?
Morgan, the Buffalo Bills and the Cincinnati Bengals still have to play, and I will become or prevail and not have a loss again.
You're going to lose. This week, the week after, they're in the playoffs, Super Bowl, you're going to lose. Even next year, you're going to lose. You might win 2 games next year.
You better hope your vehicle doesn't need gas this week. If you do, you better be looking over your shoulder for Denver fans.
I'm not worried about Denver fans in Kentucky. Are you serious?
Hey, I've seen Denver jerseys in Kentucky.
Yeah, they must like the colors. I don't think they've got Denver fans here. They must like the orange and blue. Just saying.
We shall see.
With that, folks,
Anyway,
our
give
show.
our listeners a way to contact us if we have any comments, questions.
That's what I was doing. That's what I was doing there, Baker Mayfield fan. Subscribers, listeners, fans. If you want to get in contact with us, you can get on our YouTube page, Third Down with Morgan Holder. That's 3RD Down with Morgan Holder. Give some comments. You can also get on our Facebook page, Third Down with Morgan Holder. That's 3RD Down with Morgan Holder. Also shoot us an email. At our email is going to be Third Down with Morgan Holder. It's Third Down, 3RD Down with Morgan Holder at gmail.com. Shoot us some comments. Shoot us an email. As well, before I get off, I was sitting here and I was thinking, me and Holder was talking last week. We want to know if you guys want us to go over the off season, about the draft, about the trades, or do you want us to come in at preseason? So, again, let us know what your feedback is for that. If you want to keep us going and talk about each team during the off season, or just wait to preseason, please let us know. With that being said, don't let 4 down get you.
And before I get out of here and sign out, I'm going to say, you guys, life, health, and happiness. Make sure you stay tuned to us every week until this is over. And I don't want it to be over. So, that being said, I want you guys to stay penalty free, and we will catch you on the next show.